Paul McGrath.
Pleasure. What? Goodness, sit down there.
Nice to see you.
You.
Jeez, what big crowd.
Yeah. You've played in front of bigger.
Not very well.
You have some stories to tell.
As do you.
Yeah, but you've had drama. Like, obvious, big drama. Will I remind you? No, I'm curious about that, about growing up here, the hugeness of your career, the chaos after it, and this moment now. Like, you've had big events in your life, like.
Yeah. Oh, no. I'm saying yes.
Yeah.
I have, and I think I've been blessed with those events. I started this whole thing, you know, in an orphanage, and then to come out of that and to be lucky enough to be accepted. There wasn't so many black people around back in those days. To be accepted by Irish people and to be able to kick a ball, a bag of wind, and get dragged over to Manchester United and stuff like that. So, you know, I think I was a very, very lucky man to have grown up, especially in this country.
Oh, you were, I mean, in fairness now, you were more than accepted by us. You know, you're truly loved, I think, by us. You know, that's the sense of feeling I have around the country for you. Who ran the orphanage?
I think it was a Protestant orphanage, that the first one that I went into, because I was in the boys' brigade. I knew that at one stage in my life.
What is that?
I don't know. They all wear flat hats and stuff like that, and I think it's a Protestant thing. So
yeah.
Not like no. Oh no.
Yeah. It was an expensive hat, that's what you mean.
No, but seriously, I didn't know until I showed someone that picture. I think it was Norman Whiteside or something, and he was going, hey, how can you be a Catholic? Because then, obviously, I became a Catholic later on in life, but I was brought up as a Protestant. And so when Norman saw this picture of me as a Boys Brigade member, he was thinking, like, how could you have been in the Boys Brigade? And it was simply because my mother didn't want me to grow up in the Catholic situation.
Did your mum leave you into the orphanage?
She did, yeah. Yeah, which was my mother was brilliant. You know, she was just. I mean, she started her work on herself when she was 13 and stuff like that. So she had a hard life. So, so I was kind of just sent to one or two places, and you know, I loved it because there was other people that I could, you know, start soccer matches with and learn how to play and stuff like, and hone me skills, as they say.
Yeah.
Or try.
Do you look back on it as a good time?
I do, yeah. I kind of do. Parts of it were bad. Parts of it were bad because, you know, there was two places in Dunleary. One was the Bird's Nest, and then the older boys had to go up to Glen Silva. When you were 10 years old, you had to move up to the next place. And, of course, there was a lot of brothers up at the next place that you had to say hello to. They had smaller brothers down in the Bird's Nest. So they would have been told stories that, you know, the black lad, he hit me. And the older brothers were like, I think they kept them there till they were 18 or something like that. So some big guys in there, you know what I mean? So I had to go up and just, you had to try and stand your ground and stuff like that and have the odd row with their elder brothers and stuff like that. So that was tough because I didn't mind a fight, but I didn't want to be fighting with people who were a lot older than me and stuff like that. So it was tough.
You seem very gentle.
Depends on, you know, if someone, whatever someone's doing to me, to be honest. I'm gentle, but, you know, with people who are gentle with me, you know, I'm not someone who goes around looking for a fight and anything like that. But, you know, I think I did become a little bit of a bully because that's what happened to me. And I think, but I hated being a bully. So when I went up to the other place, I was going to change my ways and all this sort of thing. Didn't get a chance to, really, to be honest, because the word had already spread up that he was a bit of a, I suppose I was a bully.
How do you spend your time now? Like, what kind of stuff do you do? In terms of like earning money and stuff like that?
I've been lucky, I think, really, that I can still... You know, I still get asked to go to Aston Villa and places like that, and all this one or two very, very strange places. But I've had to learn how to do that because I'm kind of a shy kind of human being, and I don't really like doing even this TV. I love it because I'm doing it with you, but I'm not really too good on. I haven't got a face for TV. Put it that way.
You got the ride there anyway. Is there... did you earn a phenomenal amount of money while you were playing?
No.
No, it wasn't as... I know it wasn't as mental as the money is now.
No. But no, I was on really, really low wages at Manchester United, and that's the whole crux of the thing why I left Manchester United, because I didn't want... Brian Robson was on a certain amount of money, but you knew Brian Robson was the best player by far. But I was so far back that the reserve team players were getting more money than me. So I went in to see Sir Alex, and I just said, I just like my wages. If you could, you know, I wasn't good at doing negotiations and stuff like that. So I said, if you could just up my wages a little, that'd be great. And of course, he didn't take kindly to that. He just said, what? Up your wage? Get out. Like, get out of the office sort of thing, you know. And that's the way, that's the reason then I just thought, well, I'm going to have to ask to leave and stuff like that. So, but I didn't really have to leave in the end, or ask to leave in the end, because Sir Alex did it for me.
Was that because yourself, Norman Whiteside and Brian Robson were fond of a pint?
And Kevin Moran, yeah.
And Kevin Moran, sorry, yeah.
And Gordon McQueen and a few others.
Yeah.
But Brian could drink for England. Like, he'd hollow legs. Brian he could stand at the bar all day. I couldn't. I didn't drink to be social. I just drank because I was afraid of the next thing that was coming around the corner. It was all new to me. It was all, you know, but Norman was just a brilliant player as well. He was a brilliant player, but he did love a couple of pints and stuff. And I just got caught up in it. You know, if someone had a party in their house, I had to be drunk before I got to the house. I had to be the one that, you know, was starting to be rude to people and getting asked to leave before. It was just that I didn't really like being in people's company for too long, put it that way. And
when you were drunk, I would think of myself as quite a friendly drunk. You know, kind of a soft Egypt drunk.
Would you have bought me a drink then?
Would I have bought you a drink back then?
Yeah.
I would have been afraid of you. But were you didn't like who you were drunk?
No. I wouldn't have. No, I would not at all. Because it changed my whole personality. Like I say, I'm a real quiet sort of person. I didn't like being in the limelight. The only time I like being in a football team is when I'm on the football pitch, and the rest of it was hell, for me anyway.
And did you have?
You know what I mean?
Did you have a partner or anything like that, or do you not in that time?
Yeah, I've had a couple of wives. No, not the same. I don't mean that. But I've had a couple of wives and stuff like that. And
Your own?
They were my own wives. If we're going to be honest, I know, just two of my own, and they were brilliant. They were just magnificent. With I've got 6 kids, and and I still talk to my wives, both of them, and I talk to my kids a lot as well. So so it's all worked out, and we're all we don't hate each other anymore anyway.
You seem remarkably self-possessed and in control of things, and seems like there's a great calmness coming off you. It's very nice to sit with you. Like you're very easy.
I don't know where I get that from, because I was panicking like hell about having to sit here and try, and I was thinking, geez, what'll I do? What'll I say? And then they were saying, just come out and treat it like two fellas having a chat. And it seems to be a lot easier than I thought it'd be, to be honest. Because like I say, I don't usually like crowds and stuff like that. So it's not that they're a lovely crowd. They are a lovely crowd, but I'm not used to it. I'm not used to it.
How often do you have to do the talking in public thing?
Yeah, quite often now, because it is a way of making a living. And I still have 6 kids, and I still want to be able to buy them not as many presents as I got when they were young, but I still want to buy them stuff that I probably should have given them more money, I think, and made them save so they could buy their own stuff now. But they're all old. My eldest is 34, I think. So he's he should start buying his own stuff, shouldn't he? He's at that age.
Soon,
he's at that age. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And when you do these talks, what do you talk about?
Well, it's usually the same things, like that. How do you feel about playing against Maradona, or people name players they love, and if I played against them, they want to know how I've done, or who's the best, or the usual questions.
But what was it like to play against Maradona?
It wasn't a happy experience. He was he did one thing that I just thought was ridiculous. Someone blasted a ball at him, and I think he'd been out with Brian Robson the night before. So but he just put out his leg like this and stopped the ball on the end of his toe and held it there. And I was supposed to be marking him. I'm standing about 10 yards away from him. I'm just looking at him, and he kept the ball on his toe. And then he just puts it to the ground and runs off. And I was supposed to be marking him, so I was just thinking, how'd you do that? How did you do that? And that's the sort of player he was. He was a genius. He was a genius. What
was the greatest compliment that another footballer had paid you?
And Andy Gray wasn't the Andy Gray, wasn't it? I remember I tackled him, and when I tackled him, I actually caught the ball right, and he spun up in the air and he landed, and he started just giving me this, and I was only a young lad at Old Trafford then. And then he was trying to beat me up, like, sort of thing. I was thinking, what are you trying to beat me up for? And it was just such a good tackle, seriously, so... And I mean, I took that as a compliment. Do you know what I mean? He's trying to beat the head off me.
Wow. When you stopped playing, how chaotic did it get?
Oh, very, for me, because and everyone was saying it. What are you going to do when you finish football and stuff like that? And it was the only thing I ever knew. I wasn't very good at school. I think I was expelled just before I left Sallynoggin and stuff like that. So I wasn't really good at maths and all this sort of thing. But so I kind of panicked, and I didn't know what I was going to do. But then I was finishing my second divorce, so I just decided that I'd come back to Ireland and just find somewhere to live and live a quiet life and just try and be happy. You know what I mean?
Did you go mad on drink for a while?
Yeah. I would have, yeah. Because that was my way of just you know, kind of slamming the gates and just sitting in the house and just getting in a bad way, you know. And then friends would come and try and get me out and try and get me out of the house and stuff like that. But actually, I was a shocking person to try and do anything with when I was drunk, because I didn't like myself. I didn't like what I was doing to my children. There was always something that I could relate to that I didn't do well. I wanted to be a good father. I wanted to be to all 6 of my kids, and I wasn't. And so that was tough, you know. And so that's the reason it's not the only reason, though. It's just I'm not I was never very confident. That's what it boils down to. Never very confident. You know?
Was it very difficult stopping drinking?
It still is, yeah. It still is for me. You know, I don't drink half as much as I used. Well, no, I shouldn't say it like that, half as much, because that was quite a lot. That would be quite a lot, I should say. But I do find it hard, and I haven't completely. I'd be a liar if I said I've completely stopped drinking. But I've cut it down to where it's manageable with me. I don't drive cars, and I don't do the bad things when I'm depressed or drinking or whatever I'm doing.
You're drinking by yourself?
Yeah, I drink in the house. I just, you know, close the curtains and just sit there and just drink. And lately, even starting talking to myself, which is I'm getting worried about that side of it now. And I try and keep. Again, I still try and keep myself to myself, and I get asked to do things from time to time that I really want to do, and I'm not trying to blow you up or anything, but when I heard it was you, I said I would like to do that.
Good, thank you.
And but I'm still, do you know what I mean? I'm just trying to get around my life now without hurting too many people. I think I've hurt a lot of people along the way, and I'm just trying to get through my life hurting as few as I can. Put it that way. Yeah, but that's. So I'm lucky. I've always felt blessed that like as I say, I was taken under the Irish people's wing. I went not wing. That sounded like an organisation. But I love that I was brought here when I was brought here at 8 weeks old or whatever it was, and I was taken by to heart by the Irish people, and I can still make a living. You know,
without sounding sentimental or trite or any of those things, I had a bit of a reaction when you said you were taken under the wing of the Irish people, because I have no sense of that at all. You're Irish.
Yes.
Oh,
you know, there's no you're as Irish as I am. There's no I mean, there's no sense of we're doing you a favour. If anything, and I speak for a lot of people, you're the one who did us a favour.
Oh, cheers, Tom.
You know, so yeah,
Thank you.
it's the truth. Thank you very much for braving it and coming out to chat to me.
It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul McGrath. That was great.
Thank you.
Stay where you are. That was great. Stay sitting. That's brilliant. Wow. Paul McGrath. Paul McGrath. Paul McGrath.